Hey, you're live.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Emer in West Hollywood, and I'm with one of my favorite clients, and we're here today to do some female facial sculpting. Remember, I always talk about micro-optimal changes to just keep people looking good. We don't want people to look unnatural, we don't want them to look fake. So we do very small amounts of fillers, lasers, microneedling, skincare to just keep everyone looking good. And my patient here has a beautiful facial contour, gorgeous eyes, high arched brow, high cheekbone, nice jawline, but everyone starts to notice a little bit coming down and some folds developing around the mouth. So what we're gonna do is do some lifting, and I'm gonna do a couple things. We're gonna lift, I'm gonna soften the under eye and soften around the mouth. That's a big problem area for most women. Now, to not over volumize the cheek, but give a little lift, we like to go deeper and do kind of a little pulley technique. And this is called, I don't know, I made it up. It's called the pulley technique. But what it does, it allows for anchoring of the filler. So you go down and then we move it backwards to get a little lift. We're not going to do much, just a small amount. And we're here using Restylane Define. Hold right here for her. I'm going to switch with you because it has that mobility in the filler, but it can also give us a little bit of lift. And I want her to not have an elevated cheekbone. I want support in her mid-face, but I want it to pull things back. It's also going to help kind of around her mouth area, the under eye mid-face area. Nice and slow, the slower you go, less likely to bruise and cause problems. Okay, and that's going to give us some elevation there. Nice little pressure is good. I got you. Smile again. Perfect, relax. So if we take a look at the mid-face fat pads, we're going to do just a little support to this underlying fat pad. And then we're going to do a little support right below it to give her contour. That's perfect on that side. Switch. I'm going to go back to the opposite side and do that same thing. Give me that gauze. Thank you. Smile again. I want to see where her cheek elevation is at its highest point to give it support, which we're doing. And then again, right to that underlying fat pad. Very good. So nice and soft right there. Now what we're going to do to complement the lifting that we're doing there is we're going to soften the eyes and the folds. And to do that, we're going to use a similar version of the filler, but this time we're going to use a softer version called Refine. So I'm going to let the cheek settle. I'm going to come up to the fold, lift up for a little bit. Grab that. Now Refine's a little more silky, smooth. And for someone like her that's a little thinner, put your chin up and look to the left a little. Perfect. That's a little thinner, but we want improvement in a fold without it looking puffy. This is the way to go. We can do a couple cool things with this, which I'll show you guys. How's the pain with the cannula?
No pain at all.
Ugh, it's so
Can't even
good.
feel it.
Good. So the cannula goes under the skin and allows to create a plane without a needle. Go nice and slow. And then one thing is I want to give some underlying support to around her mouth. So we'll do a little bit kind of in this area here, kind of around and above the lip area. Just gives underlying support to this whole area. Great. And that softens and lifts the fold. And then the next step will be to go a little bit to the under eye. Not too much, because we already lifted the mid face. But now we're going to go a little bit higher, because remember we were on bone. Now we're going to go a little bit higher, and you can see here where my cannula is, right under the tear trough. And just a subtle bit. Nothing too drastic. She's very thin. We don't want it to swell, look puffy. But it will help the lateral eye crease, the under eye, the tear trough. Her 21st birthday is coming up, so we gotta keep her looking fresh.
She came all the way from the Bay Area.
She did. She came from, oops, sorry guys. She came from far. Good. So now we're gonna go to the opposite side, Rose. I'll be over here. I'll switch with you. We're gonna do that same thing. Hold right there.
How can someone best prepare if they want fillers? What should they do to prepare?
Well, I mean, my thing is always start slow. So go to somebody that really can assess your face and then take it easy. Don't go crazy with the amount that you do the first time. Now, the number of syringes is not what I mean. It's the amount, meaning that each area may require a little bit, which could be a lot of syringes, but in each area you're doing a small amount. Like here, we're only doing a small amount to her under eye because I want it to build over time. And we've been doing this for a while and it's just maintenance now. Now, you can always be doing radio frequency treatments and lasers. Great. To help improve the collagen production in the skin. Look up a little bit. Perfect. You can always be doing microneedling or what we call dermal rolling at home. And you go to your esthetician. Blood streak there. To keep your skin healthy, peels, skincare. You want your skin to be really healthy. Now she has a lighter skin tone, so you want to use a filler that's super soft. You won't have what we call a Tyndall effect when you look at the skin, which is a bluish hue. So that's why this filler is a really good choice for her. Perfect. Now I'm going to go back and use a little bit more of the refine. I'm going to do this actually a little bit kind of around her mouth area and to her lateral part of her eye. I'm actually going to do part of her chin, just a slight bit. We have enough, getting enough lifting that this is going to give her kind of a little projection. It'll balance out her cheeks. She's gonna love it. And this is the facial sculpting part. Remember I told you guys. It's really important when you lift the cheek area, even if you don't do size, to balance everything out proportionately with the jawline and the chin. What this will do is give her a little support around her nasolabial fold, which comes down in the marionette area, which is right here. So we're softening that slightly. Okay, so we're softening there. Anyone asking any questions?
Not yet. So when do you know to use fillers as opposed to threads?
Well, threads do lifting, fillers do volumization. So remember, you guys, your body needs a mix of both, your skin. So sometimes you need to do a combination. And that's why coming to somebody to evaluate you who's an expert will tell you when you use filler over when you do lifting. Now the last part, or what I call the finessing portion, is softening of the fine lines. You okay?
Yeah, I'm
You're doing
good.
great.
This is why I fly down to see you. Are you kidding?
You're doing great. So now we're gonna finesse. We're gonna do a little bit to the eye corner. I'm gonna use a much softer filler, even a more silkier filler called Bellatero. And although it doesn't last as long as some of the other fillers, it looks really nice and soft. And in somebody like her, who we want to use something that doesn't tindle, like I said, turn bluish, but also finishes and finesses the fine wrinkles, this is a good filler to use in combination or alone with itself or with lasers and stuff to help wrinkling. She's done peels and lasers over the course of time to improve her skin. This is our kind of skin boosters, is what people would call it in Europe. I'm going to do a little in the upper lip area to help any fine lines. And we do these little blebs. And those will soften. Okay, come over here. We'll see on this side. Perfect. Let's switch with you. So again, little blebs to help some of the fine lines around the mouth. This will kind of plump those up and improve just the overall texture. This is not, I tell you, she's making it look easy. This is a painful area. One more to go.
You guys have the killer numbing cream.
How is it? Do you like it?
Yes, it's awesome.
It's the best one. I know. But it's still, that area, no matter what, around the mouth is always a little painful, you know. So I'm just gonna finesse again some of the fine wrinkling under the eye, just softening. And again, it's important to the eye corner. The crease of the chin is very important to blend everything, and also helps with the wrinkles around the mouth. And then again, the chin area where the jawline is, around here, just softening with a hydrating type of filler like this helps the marionette. It gives much more of a softer look to the jawline. Just overall makes the whole area look better. Do a little bit more for the wrinkles on the upper side. On this last side, so you guys can see, because all these little dots will go down. We're going to just fill in some of these fine wrinkles. Perfect. So what we do on the upper lip, we roll those in, roll that filler in to soften that area. You can see much more soft. And now everything's lifted and more blended. And her chin is more projected, so she has a nicer jawline. And that's it. So I'll show her 1 second. We're going to clean everything up. This is softening of fine lines and a little bit of facial contouring. All right, let me show you. Take a look.
Wow,
What do you think?
that looks great.
So here's the thing I want to point out. Okay?
Love it.
Is projection in the chin a little bit and softening of the fold. Folds here, and then take a look. I lifted a little here without it looking big. Soften the under eye, and there, you know, everybody has a little bit of a natural hollow under the eyes. You don't want to fully fill that out because then it doesn't look like you have a normal facial shape. But other than that, it looks really good. You can't see much folds, and we were able to soften the lines around the mouth. So, success.
So happy.
Good.
Thank
you.
you.
Good to see you. All right, we will red light you, and then that's it, you guys. Bye.
Bye.